Paul, Sunday was a tough day for everyone. How have the players reacted this week, and what's been your key message?
Yeah, tough day, capping off a tough week for everyone, yeah, definitely. So, yeah, we've got to, while we want it to be a one-off, while we want it to be an outlying result and performance, I think we still have to reflect on it properly. And as we do, whatever the result, however we've played, we try and take things from it. So, yeah, there's some things from there which, big reminders. So, in the first half, at times we were very good, and for the first 20-25 minutes I thought we're actually the better team, but still moments in that where we didn't carry out what we'd agreed to carry out, and they were the times where Newcastle get out, so we could have improved in that moment. So that's a big thing, because we know the margins are so fine and we know how well we've got to play to get the wins. We have to be that critical of ourselves. And then the second half, yes, we made changes to chase a game, but still within that there were things that we can't allow to happen again.
How important is it that everybody sticks together after a defeat like that, to have the unity? And with that in mind, have you spoken to the owner this week? Has he given you his full support? Yeah,
Prince Abdullah was on the phone to me straight after the game, so yeah, we speak regular. That's not an issue. Yeah, the support's there. Spoke with Stephen as well, but yeah, I think that's not my concern. That's not my job. My job, as you said, this building and the unity within this building. So yeah, we need to understand that we need to be better. I think we are all in agreement on that. Yeah, and as I say, we need to be one of those teams that suffered these defeats before and used it to achieve our goal, which is to stay in this league.
The sides that came up last season are currently all in the bottom three. Do you think there is a widening gap between the Championship and the Premier League?
Yeah, there's a big gap for lots of reasons. We know that. You can't hide away from that. But also in recent times, teams that have come up have done well, and we have to try and be one of those teams that stays up and then builds. Because like I said, whilst we've been doing a lot of things for the long term in this club, not just this, but we've been having to do that, we understand that. We've been able to actually improve results on the pitch and climb the table and get a promotion. So, yeah, at the same time, we're trying to still achieve results this season. Whilst we know the bigger picture, we've been trying to plan for it. That's not at the expense, or I should say, acknowledging that we'd accept a relegation this season. No, it's not at all. We're here to try and compete. We're here to try and pick up points. So, yeah, that's what we'll do.
You're a keen golfer. We saw that in the summer on pre-season when you won the golf day. Ryder Cup this weekend. Yeah. Will you be watching with interest? Matt Fitzpatrick, of course, was here supporting the team on Sunday. Will you be supporting him? Can you give him a bit of a lift with a win as well?
It'd be nice. Yeah, it'd be nice. I'll certainly be trying to watch. Obviously, we're travelling a lot tomorrow, so we'll have that on the iPad, and then, yeah, hopefully we'll get a double this weekend for Matt. Yeah, it's we need the win, and obviously this competition, it is a big sporting event, and there's lots of people follow it. Lots of our players follow it. Lots of the staff follow it. We've got our eye on West Ham without a doubt, but we'll have one eye on the golf as well.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate.
Paul, how critical is this week and how critical is this game against West Ham?
None more so than the others in terms of the points we can get, but we want to make sure we respond from that performance that we weren't happy with. I think that's the importance of this. We can't listen. We can't feel sorry for ourselves. We could have felt sorry for ourselves in the other games where we've not come away with more points, but we don't, because no one's going to feel sorry for us. No one's going to allow us to. They've had a bit of a rough time. So we have to expect and plan for West Ham at their best. They've had a good start. And focus on our performance and make sure it's back to listen, we always want to improve, and we talked about Spurs, and there's reasons why we didn't come away with 3 points from Spurs, and we needed to be better from that. But there's a real level of organisation and a mentality to really try and grind out a win, which, regardless how well you're playing, you could be a team having more of the ball than the opposition, but you still need that mentality to help you get over the line.
As you've kind of reflected on last week, have you been able to work out why it was so uncharacteristically passive in that second half?
No. Listen, like I said, the changes with 3-0 down, there's changes that have opened us up a bit more, you know, tactical changes. We had too many attacking players on towards the back end who, when you're playing against a team like that, we were open. But that's why we need to use that game. If those players want to be on the pitch more often and get more minutes, they have to understand their role without the ball as well. So we made a couple of changes to protect 1 or 2 players as well once the game had gone, who'd been carrying things and not trained, particularly Gus, who'd been carrying a thigh injury as well. So yeah, we've lots of reasons.
Does it worry you a little bit though that one thing that you could always say of Sheffield United, there was a spirit, there was a fight, but you just didn't see that in the second half?
No, because it's a one-off. So as long as it's a one-off, then that's fine. And no, you look at the running stats; they'll be exactly the same. But performing as a team and doing your job and not allowing Newcastle to run off the back here, because our running was chasing rather than really affecting them and keeping them in front of us. So yeah, there was a lot of work there, but we did too much work because of how poorly we performed, you know. So yeah, like I say, you can't, as much as we want it to be a one-off, we can't just ignore the performance. We've got to look at it and make sure that people understand what they need to do to improve, people understand what they need to do to get in this team.
Do you have enough vocal leaders? That's something that people have questioned. Is that lacking a little bit? Is that one of the issues that maybe led to what happened against Newcastle?
No, we've got a lot of players who are new and trying to find their feet, not only in our club, but in English football as well and the Premier League. So we can't expect them to be coming in and dominating vocally, and they've got to get their feet under the table and adapt. And to do that, you tend to have to be performing well enough on the pitch. So it's that'll only come with performances or with the time that they're at this club, you know. So I think I said after the game, but we've still got a lot of experienced players here who know the standards, who know the level of this league, who we need to step up and make sure they take on the extra responsibility, if you like. Yeah, so it's not down to one, it's not down to two, it's down to everyone. And like I say, whilst we can do all the work we want on the training ground, then you've got to enjoy the challenge of the battle on the pitch and implementing it on the pitch.
How do you get Ahmed and John Egan back to their best, do you think?
Well, I thought Anel weren't at his best at the weekend, but prior to that he's been very good this season. Been really pleased with him. So yeah, I won't let you guys, never mind us, I won't let you guys start talking about the season, defining it in one game, you know. So he's been good to this point.
Yeah. Are you any concern at all that, you know, maybe some of the key players have just dipped a little bit? You know, is that something that how easy is it or difficult is it to try and keep them at a certain level in the Premier League?
What, dipped in that game? Everyone dipped in that game.
In terms of form?
Everyone dipped. Well, I don't think anyone would have come off that game happy with the performance.
A few people have said, you know, have commented that after the game you said, you know, these things can happen sometimes, you know, bad defeats, and you referenced quite right, you know, Man United have had bad defeats, Southampton in the past. Some people have said though, yeah, but the manner of the defeat was concerning. Yeah, but
you're not going to get a defeat like that that's in any type of good manner, are you? Yeah. Whenever someone suffers a heavy defeat, there's no way you can say it's an acceptable. It's always going to be, if you've lost 8-0, there's always going to be things that just shouldn't happen on a football pitch, you know? That's it. But like I say, we have to make sure we're clear on that and what they are, and we have been. But that's no different approach to what we did against Spurs, or Man City, or, you know, there's always things we want to do better in games. But I don't think you'd ever be able to say that losing in that way, regardless who you're playing, regardless how well the opposition play, you know, we can't afford for things to happen again.
Is it serious enough that the fans are almost owed? Is that kind of a message that you give to the players at a point like this? You know, we've got to give the fans something a bit more next week.
Listen, we're talking like it's a first defeat. It's not. We've already lost games, and we've lost games performing not to a level good enough yet because we want to win, but performing against top sides, trying to leave everything on the pitch. Yeah, and we've lost games doing it that way as well. So it's not the defeat it's a defeat. You know, we've already lost games. I forget about it. The manner of it is the bit that we have to address. You know, the things that we saw which are not us, the things that we saw which we know won't get us any better. They're the things that we need to address.
What do you see in West Ham? How do they compare to the teams you've faced so far?
Yeah, how do they compare? Well, listen, they've had a really strong start, some real good results. They're very comfortable even when they've not got the ball, you know. So that means they're a real good threat on the counter attack and transition. So yeah, set plays been really strong, a good physicality about the team, the organisation without the ball. So yeah, we know when we're playing against a team who, yeah, no matter who they play against, pose threats. So yeah, we have to make sure that we're just as good without the ball and make it difficult for them, whilst also having one eye on those threats. Because if David picks a team that I would expect him to, we know those threats are going to be there, even if we're attacking, even if we're on the ascendancy with the ball. Like I said, one quick break, there can be a threat set plays. They've added to that with Ward-Prowse's delivery as well this season. So yeah, we know we're in for a tough game again, because typically West Ham give everyone the play a tough game.
Okay, cheers, Paul.
Hi, Paul. Players clearly hurting after a defeat like that. What have you seen in them this week on the training pitch in terms of getting back to a performance that we're more used to seeing?
Yeah, we've put emphasis on certain things, but I didn't see that performance coming. Training last week was good. So like I say, it's a realisation that games aren't won on the training pitch. You do all our preparation there. Try and prepare the players as best we possibly can, but like I say, there's got to be a mentality to carry that out on the pitch, no matter who we're against. We know what we're competing against, but we have to rise to that challenge. So, yeah, I'll be more intrigued to see the performance on Saturday rather than how we're performing in training.
And what's the injury news? McBurney back in contention?
Yeah, so Ollie's back from his suspension, yeah. Gus is that little bit better. Like I said, he was carrying something last week. So, yeah, John Fleck's trained today, which is good for Flecky, having obviously had that broken leg in pre-season. So that's another one back. Yeah, and no one else to add to the injury list.